last victim of police last week. Did lots of controversial debate and the reaction of the community at large and the Somali community and the media. It's very interesting. It's very different this time from any police shooting before. You see how the media and how the police community react when the victim is white and the policeman in this case was black, or as most of the media portray him as a Somali American, not just a police or not just an American police. I mean, his ethnicity was an issue, his religion was an issue, the heresies about his motive as a Muslim American. And so we're going to talk to some of the community leader here, Mathew Ramadan. We have heard you following these events, and you can see that the reaction from the media and the community and police community is a little bit different this time. So what's your take on this?
Well, one of the things that is very disconcerting and very concerning for many members of the community is that in most cases when there's a police-involved shooting, the very first thing that happens is that the police department coalesces and comes around the officer involved to make sure that that officer is treated fairly. They don't announce the name of the officer generally. They don't announce the identity of the officer, and they don't give out information about the officer until after they've had some opportunity to get the officer's side of the story. In this case, all that information was released almost immediately to the media. And they not only gave his name, they gave his ethnicity. They talked about his history on the force. And at the same time, they did nothing to question the victim. In every other case where we know in the police-involved shootings, simple things that happen take place. One is that the background of the victim is examined. The only thing that we know is this person was an Australian bride-to-be who saved ducks. And as the Star Tribune characterized her, the most innocent person that's ever been involved in or shot by the police. We just want to ask those same questions. One of the things that they often do when a person is killed by the police in these kind of questionable circumstances is they do a toxicology report on the victim to see if the victim was in fact using drugs, high on alcohol, or otherwise impaired. At least as far as we know, that hasn't been done.
To me, fearing, we always hear this, he was fearing for his life.
Right.
Well, let's say this officer, Muhammad Noor, fearful. It might be different in some instance. Somebody white with pajama. If I'm watching television, most of the assault on Muslims and African American are white. So I could make an argument. I was fearing for my life. I see.
In the reports that have been released to the media by the other officer, he says that, and his camera was off too. They said that they heard a loud bang just before the victim Justine Damon appeared out of the dark. What was this loud bang? What caused this loud bang? Did she cause this loud bang? Where did that come?
That's how the officer thinking.
Right, and if that's possible, what would be the normal response if the officers believe that they may be in a situation where they're being ambushed? Mm-hmm. The normal response of a police officer that feels or believes that they may be ambushed is to be prepared to return fire. If they think that loud bang was a gunshot, for instance.
Well, obviously, we are not here to defend the police or find a justification. We are the last one to do that because we're most likely we are victims.
Well, the other thing that's happened is because the media and the police department and the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension decided to release Officer Noor's name and identity, how has that had a backlash? And we know it has had a backlash on the Somali community in general and the other Somali police officers on the Minneapolis Police Department. Many of them have been contacted by the media. Their families have been harassed, and they're being looked at as with suspicion as if now the whole Somali-American community of law enforcement professionals is suspect. So the question that we all should be asking, and that's the question that we'd like for the mayor and the police chief to answer, and we'd like for the media to answer. Why was this so important to put that out there like that? Why was it important that we believe that they were trying to demonize him and try him in the court of public opinion even before he has his day in court?
The community, should we be a little bit careful of just jumping and try to raise those questions and try to kind of defend a policeman that at the end of the day he shot somebody?
Well, we're not saying anything in order to try to defend the police. What we're asking for is do the same thing every time. If the police always defend their own, we don't see a reason why, except for race, why they're not doing it in this case. If the police every time make sure that they protect the officer from the media and from their families, why is this not happening in this case?
The mayor reaction was very interesting, and she released a statement about this is not going to be treated any differently. What do you think of the mayor reaction?
The actions and the words are very different. This already has been treated differently. The fact that they released his name and released his ethnicity to the media, if the city of Minneapolis was not conducting an investigation, which they say that they're not supposed to be conducting an investigation because they've been turning that over to the State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, the BCA, the city should have remained silent. But right away, when they make statements that he's not cooperating with the BCA, they're causing questions and doubt and guilt in the minds of the public against this officer. This is not being treated the same way.
Here is a guy who was so proud to join the police forces. This is America. He really felt he is American, and then I'm sure he'll find out he's not really.
Right.
It's not really a full American if you are Muslim or black.
Well, his situation is no different than other African American or black police officers in both the Minneapolis Police Department as well as police departments all across the country. They're black first in the eyes of other police officers. And so by being black, that equates with being guilty. And that's why I say Malcolm X pointed this out years ago when he looked at the dictionary and saw that being black was equated with being evil and bad and guilty, and being white was equated with good and innocent. And so we have this same narrative still playing out today, that we've had other black police officers who've been stopped, who've been harassed, who've been nearly arrested, who've been shot at by their fellow officers because of the assumption that they're that black, guilty one who needs to be put down.
Mathew Ramadan, community leader here in African American and also in the Muslim community, kind of raising some question that must be raised and asked, and it seems like the media not asking this question and just went to a different scenario, a different reaction than when the victim is African American or Black American or Muslim American. Mathew Ramadan, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Good luck with your